Meeting Jungle Gods and Buddha. I wrote this in the evening shortly after returning from my DMT voyage. I dosed approximately 60 milligrams of pure white DMT via my vapor genie pipe. I mention my illness a few times. What I mean by this is CFS/ME, chronic fatigue syndrome, which I suffer from. I am experienced with other psychedelics such as LSD, LSA, and fairly experienced with shrooms, but this is only my third DMT breakthrough. Trip report. I pray. I ask my angels to protect me from darkness and that God protect me. I ask forgiveness for my wrongdoings. I beg my body to be healed. I summon my angels again and ask for protection from darkness. Then I take 3 rips from the DMT pipe, which contained approximately 60 milligrams. Just as I start the second hit, I feel a G-force wrenching me from my body. I shut my eyes and I am flying through black and gray and dark purple fractals. I open my eyes briefly to take another hit, and while doing so, I realize for a moment I have forgotten I am still taking a hit and continue to inhale a little more, then hold it in. If my lungs are full or empty, I do not know. I breathe out a shimmer of vapor and lay back. I become hyper-aware of the components of my current state of consciousness. I am in a headspace where I can clearly examine what emotions I have brought to the trip. There is a cold wind of fear inside of me, a channel of it flowing. I know I have taken a high dose, but I am prepared. I do not need the fear. I am equipped with psychonaut skills, a galvanized spirit able to navigate away from my own fear. I explore my state for a few more moments. I will my spirit to be taken and give myself to the experience. Open my eyes for a second and close them again. A velvet smooth clean smoke-like substance forms a dark net over my visual field and expands to cover it completely. I tumble into a vision. I feel I am wrapped up in something soft, and then my awareness zooms out and I become aware of where I am. I am being held gently in the arms of a great being I shall call a jungle god. There are 2 of them and 1 smaller one. I have feelings they are my parents, but not my physical parents, but they have had a hand in my upbringing. I am cradled in their arms. They have a human-esque shaped body, but are the size of giants and are made out of perfectly smooth dark green ribbons wrapped around a core of fire which blazes through the gaps in the ribbon. I feel bliss being with them. I am home, and they love me so much. I start to be pulled away from them, and I return to the dark purple-gray hyperspace, which contains long and thin, bendy rectangular prisms zooming past me and other patterns. It feels like being in a wormhole, like in science fiction movies. I open my eyes for a brief second, then close them. I want to go back to the jungle gods, but they send me away. I shut my eyes again and find myself with Buddha. A giant Buddha sitting there meditating, smiling in an immense temple with colossal colonnades. There was some communication between us, but it's not with words and different from telepathy, which I have experienced before on DMT from vapor beings. A huge amount is learned as if I have suddenly remembered thousands of years of training, as if I have remembered my real life and suddenly woken up from my amnesia. I realize truths I already knew and then immediately come to know that the Buddha illuminated them for me. I transmit many thanks to him. There was light all around this temple with maybe 50 huge pillars and 2 rows. I realize here that this is what it's all about, conscious evolution. I learned for certain what I have been pondering, that my illness does not prevent me from galvanizing my spirit. In fact, it is a powerful tool to do just that. Becoming a better skilled pilot of my mind to navigate my own awareness, to have control, to grow the emotions that are needed, to grow the self that is needed and is willed to be by God. I open my eyes for a moment and close them again. I want to go back to the Buddha. Voices from many other beings, possibly including Buddha, come to tell me I must go back, not back to them. They are smaller beings like gnomes. I tell them I want to stay, but they say, "No, you can't because of da-dee-dum, dee-da-dee-da." They sing me back to sleep, and I shut my eyes, again even though they were already shut, and I dream blissfully for a few moments with a huge grin on my face. I then remember they have sung me to sleep and try to go back again, but they sing me to sleep again, and again I forget, and then I remember, and chuckle in amazement. I rearrange myself on my bed so I am no longer propped up by lying completely down. I rethink the experience, trying to run through it again so I can remember it better. My hands are raised so my palms are held together in prayer with the tips of my fingers touching my lips. God is at work in me and giving many blessings. I feel tremendous gratefulness, awe, and rapture. I say, thank you, thank you, thank you. My body is trembling but feels clean. After a few minutes, I sit up and write this report. I feel a great peace, as well as confidence about the future. I am doing well, and my illness is not stopping that. Thank you, God.